priest and hear me preach like a Baptist house of fire and talk about a personal relationship with Jesus. And I even gave altar calls sometimes at the creed when I would invite people. If you've never accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, it's a very Catholic thing to do. It may not happen in your Mass every week, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's very scriptural. When we stand up to say what we believe, if you believe that, why in the world don't you come on in the ship? Get in, come home. Which I was inviting him to become a Christian is what I was inviting. Now, the difference is that he needs to come to instruction, etc., 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 etc. But no, absolutely. I'm not saying at all that statues and rosaries and beautiful church buildings are your salvation. Of course not. I'm talking about the things that affected my journey as a Christian who already loved Jesus. It affected my journey. I knew. It's kind of like taking a shower with your socks on. All the ingredients are there, but something didn't feel quite right. That's just my personal journey. You have a personal journey, Dan, that God's doing and working in your life. But we're going to end up talking about the fullness of our journey, the fullness of our faith. So don't be surprised at the things God may still have in store for you. Your journey isn't over yet.
You know, this man, this question does remind us of so many people that you and I meet in our life, because having had a bad experience being brought up or not getting it, they find it somewhere else, and then along the journey there's misunderstandings. There's what he was also expressing is a very common heresy today. I don't want to be that strong with him, but the idea that I don't need churches, I don't need sacraments, I don't need anything.
Great.
All I need is Jesus. Great. Jesus is the way and the truth. I've got the Bible and I've got Jesus. I don't need anything else. I don't need denominations and churches, blah, blah, blah. Well, in a sense, a part of that is true. Those things, in a sense, in themselves, are not what get us to Jesus. It's Jesus. But Jesus established the church.
That's right. Once you get there.
This idea, this indifferentism that all I need is Jesus, historically, that is only a 20th century idea. Right? The Reformers didn't believe that. Martin Luther believed that his decision, Calvin's decision, they each believed the necessity of the church.
Did you have parishioners, Marcus, that would say to you as you pastored, and I never had a good answer for this. I thought, well, I guess you're right, but we sure need you at the church. Pastor, or father, they didn't say it to me when I was father, but they said it when I was pastor. You don't have to go to church to be a Christian. It is this American individualism of, the thing. I used to hear Pentecostal preachers that I love say, the theme song in hell is going to be, I did it my way. Well, good. You'll stand along with everybody else. It's when you submit. Here's the thing that's so changed. So it's a fundamental change in thinking of evangelical Protestantism and Catholic thinking. Becoming a Christian is not about just you and Jesus. Of course it is. It's individual. It's personal salvation. But then when the first time I read the Father's statement that said, I don't know if it was St. Cyril, who it was, there were so many of them, my head is still swimming. There is no salvation outside the church. Well, I thought, and I was offended as a Southern Baptist or an independent charismatic, excuse me, I know what you're saying is there's no salvation unless I'm a Catholic. You mean outside the Catholic Church? Well, because I still hadn't settled in my mind that there is one church that Christ founded, and here's the mind-blowing thing. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Maybe I wasn't ready. But for 1,500 years, everybody worshipped the same. There were no Baptists and Nazarenes and Methodists, and I love them all. And but at some point in your life, you're going to have to stop and say, what's this all about? Who started this whole thing?
The verse that comes to my mind, then we're going to take our next caller, is this wonderful verse in Ephesians 4, when he says, there is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one Lord, Father of us all, who is above all and through all and in all. And that the grace was given to each of you according to the measure of Christ's gift. Now, the reality of that, it didn't just say Jesus and me.
Right. Oh, that was my point. I'm sorry I lost it.
But in the midst of that there is, in Ephesians, he equates the church with the body of Christ.
Becoming a Christian means I'm joining myself to a body. You're not a pinky by yourself. You cut your pinky off and lay it on the side, it's going to rot. I can worship the Lord, Brother Mike, out there on the lake in the boat by myself every Sunday. This is where I was going. I don't have to come to church. Yes, you do. If you say I'm going to be a follower of Jesus Christ, that means I'm joining his body. He has a body. He's the head. It's built on the foundation. There's this community that I'm accountable to, and every good Christian believes this is what they would say it or not what they would admit it, except those who are rebellious and don't want to be under any authority. I know. I'm testifying about myself. When you say I want to be a Christian, it means I want to join Jesus' troop. I want to join that what he is and who he is. Well, honey, you can't do that by yourself. Sorry, I know I'm preaching.
That's right. That's right. I'll have to put an extension in for the program.